The quantum detector's alarm shattered the silence of the Lunar Research Station Echo 7. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the readings in disbelief, her hands trembling as she recalibrated the instruments for the fourth time. The signals remained unchanged. Artificial structures, previously invisible to conventional sensors, orbited Earth in a complex geometric pattern. Humanity had never been alone. Director Morrison needs to see this immediately, she whispered to herself, initiating a priority transmission to Earth. Within hours, the discovery shook the foundations of human civilization. Cloaked observation posts, maintained by multiple alien civilizations, had been monitoring Earth for centuries. Our astronomical blindness to their presence hadn't been an oversight. It had been by design. The truth emerged through a cascade of revelations. As humanity's quantum detection capabilities expanded, they discovered not just one or two watching civilizations, but 17 distinct species, each with their own agenda. The Arcturians, crystalline beings who measured time in millennia. The Nexus Collective, a hive mind that had evolved beyond physical form. The Zrital Empire, organic machine hybrids who had dominated their arm of the galaxy for eons. Each had maintained their distance, watching humanity's progress with growing unease. What terrified them wasn't our technology. By their standards, we were primitives stumbling through our first steps into space. It wasn't our military capability. Our most powerful weapons were toys compared to their planet-killing arsenals. What frightened these ancient civilizations was our speed of adaptation, our relentless drive to overcome limitations, and most importantly, our unpredictability. The first official contact came not through choice, but necessity. Admiral James Rodriguez, commanding the newly commissioned Solar Defense Fleet, received the transmission during a routine patrol. Humanity, the message began, translated through advanced AI systems. Your species has violated containment protocols. Your development rate exceeds acceptable parameters. The coalition of stellar orders requires your immediate compliance with civilization control measures. The message continued with a list of demands: immediate cessation of quantum research, supervised reduction of technological development, and acceptance of permanent observation posts on Earth. The alternative was quarantine, a euphemism for orbital bombardment that would reset human civilization to a pre-industrial state. Rodriguez's response, transmitted without consulting Earth's governments, would later be celebrated as the moment that changed humanity's destiny. "We acknowledge your message," he broadcast on all frequencies. "However, you seem to have misunderstood the situation. You're not containing us. You're revealing your fear. And that tells us everything we need to know about our potential." Within 24 hours, humanity's quantum detection grid mapped every cloaked alien installation in the solar system. The watching civilizations had maintained their posts for so long, they'd grown complacent. They never expected their quarry to develop the ability to see them so suddenly, so completely. Dr. Chen's team made another crucial discovery. The observation posts weren't just watching. They were actively suppressing Earth's technological development through subtle quantum interference. The very physics we understood had been filtered through their containment systems, giving us a distorted view of what was possible. Earth's governments united with unprecedented speed, forming the Human Defense Initiative. Scientists worldwide began breaking free from the quantum interference, rediscovering principles that had been hidden from us. Within weeks, theoretical physics underwent a revolution as the artificial limitations were stripped away. The coalition's fear of human potential had created a self-fulfilling prophecy. Their attempts to contain us had given humanity a crash course in their own technological capabilities. Every suppression technique they used became a blueprint for advancement once discovered. As Earth prepared for what seemed an inevitable conflict, something unexpected happened. 3 junior species from the coalition broke ranks. The Solarians, themselves relatively young, recognized in humanity a kindred spirit. The quantum architects, intrigued by our rapid mastery of previously suppressed technologies, offered alliance. The wandering minds, a species of digital nomads, saw in humanity a chance to break the stagnant power structure of galactic civilization. Dr. Chen, now leading Earth's quantum research initiative, made the breakthrough that would change everything. The containment field technology, reversed and amplified, could do more than hide objects. It could fundamentally alter the rules of engagement in any future conflict. Humanity wouldn't just fight back. We would change the nature of space warfare itself. As the Coalition's deadline for compliance approached, Earth's response took shape. We had no intention of submitting to their demands, but neither would we fight them on their terms. Humanity had always excelled at finding a third option, at rewriting the rules when the existing ones didn't serve our needs. The stage was set for a confrontation that would reshape the galaxy. Humanity, the upstart species that refused to be contained, against the combined might of ancient civilizations that had never faced a serious challenge to their authority. But first blood wouldn't be drawn with weapons. It would be drawn with an idea that would shake the Coalition to its core. The Coalition's flagship materialized at the edge of the solar system, a behemoth of impossible geometries that defy human understanding of physics. Admiral Elena Santos watched from the bridge of the Earth Defense Force's lead ship, the Prometheus, as the alien vessel's presence bent light around it like a dying star. The Coalition had sent their supreme diplomatic delegation, not out of respect, but to demonstrate their overwhelming technological superiority. The message was clear: resistance would be futile. What they didn't expect was humanity's chosen representative. "Send her in," Santos ordered, and Dr. Maya Patel, Earth's leading xenoanthropologist, entered the quantum conference chamber. She wasn't a politician or a military leader, but someone who had spent her life studying the psychology of alien civilizations, including the fragments of information gathered from the now exposed observation posts. The Coalition's representatives materialized as holographic projections: the crystalline Arcturian Elder, its faceted form refracting light in complex patterns; the swirling consciousness of the Nexus Collective; and the biomechanical Zretal Imperator, whose very presence made the air crackle with energy. "Your species has been given adequate time to consider our terms," the Arcturian Elder began, its voice resonating through the chamber. "Submit to containment or face quarantine. There is no third option." Maya stepped forward, her expression calm. "Before we respond, I have a question for each of you." The alien's confusion was palpable. This wasn't how such negotiations usually proceeded. "Elder of the Arcturians, how long has it been since your species faced an existential challenge?" The crystalline being's surface flickered. "We have maintained stability for 50,000 years." "Nexus Collective, when was the last time your hive mind incorporated a truly new pattern of thought?" The swirling consciousness pulsed. "We achieved perfection of form 12,000 years ago. No new patterns have been necessary." "And Imperator, how many of your hybrid improvements were developed in response to actual threats, rather than theoretical ones?" The Zretal's mechanical components whirred in agitation. "We have anticipated and prevented all potential challenges to our dominance." Maya smiled. "Thank you. You've just confirmed our analysis. Your civilizations aren't advanced. They're stagnant. You've eliminated challenge, conflict, and competition. In doing so, you've lost the ability to adapt." The chamber erupted in protests, but Maya continued. "We've studied your containment technology. It's the same design you developed thousands of years ago. Your weapons, your ships, your very societies, they haven't truly evolved. You've been maintaining rather than innovating." She gestured to a holographic display showing Earth's history. "In the past century alone, humanity has gone from primitive flight to quantum detection. We've faced and overcome countless challenges: environmental disasters, social upheavals, technological revolutions. Each crisis made us stronger, more adaptable." The Arcturian Elder's crystalline form darkened. "Your chaos threatens the stability of galactic civilization. We cannot allow." "You cannot allow change," Maya interrupted, "because you fear it. But consider this. We've already adapted your containment technology into something new, something you never imagined possible. Dr. Chen. On cue, the quantum fields around Earth shifted. The Coalition's sensors suddenly detected thousands of human ships where none had existed before, not cloaked, but existing in quantum superposition, simultaneously present and absent. Impossible, the Zrital Imperator declared. Our containment fields were designed to suppress and control, Maya finished. We redesigned them to expand and explore. While you were watching us, trying to contain us, we were learning from every limitation you placed on us. Each barrier became a lesson. The Nexus Collective's form swirled in agitation. You leave us no choice. Quarantine protocols would be inadvisable. Admiral Santos interrupted, speaking for the first time. Dr. Patel isn't just here to analyze you. She's here to offer you a choice. Maya nodded. Your civilizations are dying. Not physically, but culturally, intellectually. You've sacrificed growth for stability, innovation for control. We're offering you a partnership, not submission to your coalition, but a genuine exchange. We can show you how to embrace change, how to grow again. Or, the Arcturian elder demanded, or we continue developing on our own, sharing our innovations with your junior species who've already reached out to us. How long do you think your coalition will last when its members realize there's an alternative to stagnation? The chamber fell silent. The coalition representatives, for the first time in centuries, faced a situation their protocols hadn't prepared them for. They had come to demand humanity's submission, but found themselves confronted with their own obsolescence. You have 6 Earth days to consider our offer, Maya concluded. We suggest you use this time to really look at your civilizations, to remember what it was like to face challenges and overcome them. Because one way or another, change is coming to the galaxy. As the coalition representatives disappeared, Admiral Santos turned to Maya. Will they accept? Some will, some won't, Maya replied. But that's not what matters. What matters is that we've shown them something they haven't seen in millennia. Uncertainty. And in that uncertainty lies the potential for growth. The quantum fields around Earth continued their complex dance, a testament to humanity's ability to take the tools of oppression and transform them into instruments of liberation. The coalition had sought to contain humanity's potential. Instead, they had become the catalyst for their own evolution. The heart of Project Prometheus pulsed beneath the Martian surface, a vast network of quantum processors that Dr. Sarah Chen had dubbed the Possibility Engine. In the 5 days since humanity's counteroffer to the coalition, this facility had become the focal point of Earth's defense strategy. The final simulations are complete, Dr. Chen announced to the assembled leadership of the Human Defense Initiative. The holographic display showed a mesmerizing dance of probabilities and quantum states. Project Prometheus isn't just operational, it's exceeded our initial projections. Admiral Santos leaned forward, her eyes reflecting the shifting patterns. Explain it to me again, Doctor, in terms our potential allies can understand. Chen gestured, and the display transformed into a simplified model of space-time. The Coalition's containment technology taught us something fundamental about reality. It's more mutable than anyone imagined. They used this knowledge to suppress and control. We're using it to expand and create. The model shifted, showing multiple layers of reality overlapping. Project Prometheus doesn't just predict possible futures, it creates them. Every ship equipped with our quantum core exists in multiple states simultaneously, not just cloaked or visible, but in multiple tactical configurations at once. The implications were staggering. A single human vessel could simultaneously exist as a warship, a diplomatic vessel, and a rescue craft. The crew could experience multiple timelines, choosing the most advantageous outcome in any situation. It wasn't just a technological advancement, it was a fundamental reimagining of what was possible. News of the project's success spread quickly through quantum channels to Earth's new allies. The Solarians, with their intuitive understanding of energy states, were the first to grasp the implications. The quantum architects saw in it the fulfillment of theories they'd been too cautious to explore. The wandering minds recognized it as the key to breaking the coalition's technological monopoly. But it was the project's secondary effect that truly changed everything. Dr. Maya Patel made the discovery during a routine psychological assessment of the test crews. The quantum state overlap isn't just affecting our ships and technology, she reported. It's affecting consciousness itself. Every crew member exposed to the quantum field is experiencing an expansion of cognitive potential. They're not just seeing multiple possibilities, they're learning from experiences they haven't technically had. The coalition's response came hours before their deadline. The Arcturian Elder, the Nexus Collective, and the Zretal Imperator appeared again in the quantum conference chamber, but their demeanor had changed. The rigid certainty was gone, replaced by something closer to desperation. Your Project Prometheus represents an unacceptable deviation from established physical laws, the Imperator declared. You cannot be allowed to continue. Admiral Santos smiled. You're missing the point. We're not asking for permission. In fact, we've already shared the basic principles with our allies. The knowledge is out there now, spreading through the galaxy like a quantum wave. You don't understand the consequences, the Nexus Collective warned. Such technology, such capabilities, they will destroy the stability we've maintained for millennia. Dr. Chen stepped forward. No, you don't understand. We've seen what your stability really is. A cage, a quantum prison you built around your own civilizations. You're so afraid of change that you've forgotten how to live. The display shifted to show the growing network of quantum connections spreading through the solar system and beyond. Every point of light represented a consciousness experiencing multiple possibilities, learning, growing, evolving. Project Prometheus isn't just a defense system, Chen continued. It's liberation. Every being connected to the network experiences the fundamental truth you've been hiding from yourselves. Reality isn't meant to be contained. It's meant to be explored. The Arcturian Elder's crystalline form flickered with uncharacteristic uncertainty. You would risk the collapse of galactic civilization for this. Chaos. We're offering you a chance to be part of it, Maya interjected. Your civilizations have achieved incredible things, but you've stopped growing. Join us. Experience what it means to evolve again. The coalition representatives wavered, their forms becoming unstable as they processed the implications. The quantum field generated by Project Prometheus was already affecting them, showing them glimpses of what they could become if they abandoned their rigid control. The network is opening naturally occurring quantum channels throughout the galaxy, Chen explained. The more minds that join, the more possibilities emerge. You can't stop it, but you can choose to embrace it. In the silence that followed, humanity's quantum ships maintained their complex dance through multiple realities. Each vessel was a testament to what was possible when innovation was unfettered, when the drive to explore overcame the fear of change. The coalition faced a choice they had never anticipated: adapt or become obsolete. Their containment protocols, the foundation of their power for millennia, were becoming meaningless in a galaxy awakening to new possibilities. Project Prometheus had done more than create a defense against alien aggression. It had initiated a fundamental shift in the nature of galactic civilization itself. The age of containment was ending. The age of possibility was beginning. The quantum conference chamber aboard the Earth ship Prometheus had become the focal point of galactic diplomacy. Dr. Maya Patel stood before the assembled representatives of 23 species, former coalition members and independent civilizations alike. The holographic projections filled the space with a kaleidoscope of forms, from crystalline structures to pure energy beings. The mirror strategy, Maya began, isn't about winning a war. It's about showing each civilization what they've lost and what they could become again. Behind her, the quantum display showed the spreading network of consciousness and possibility that Project Prometheus had initiated. The coalition was fracturing, not through military action or economic pressure, but through the simple act of reflection. Humanity had learned to turn each species' own history against the stagnation they'd accepted. Admiral Santos watched from her command chair as Maya orchestrated the most ambitious diplomatic campaign in human history. Each interaction was precisely calculated to resonate with the deepest fears and forgotten aspirations of these ancient civilizations. To the Arcturians, they showed recordings of their own early history, a time when their crystalline forms had pulsed with the energy of constant evolution, before they had frozen themselves in perfect, unchanging patterns. The quantum network let them experience echoes of that dynamism again. The Nexus Collective faced their own reflection, archives of their first emergence as a hive mind, when each new consciousness added to their whole had brought genuine novelty and growth. The human quantum network offered them something they'd forgotten existed: the possibility of surprise, of genuine discovery. Even the mighty Zretal Empire found themselves confronted with uncomfortable truths. Their biomechanical augmentations, once a symbol of their drive to transcend limitations, had become standardized templates, unchanged for millennia. Your civilizations didn't achieve greatness through stability, Maya reminded them. You achieved it through daring, through willingness to risk everything for evolution. We're not asking you to submit to chaos. We're inviting you to remember who you were. The quantum network pulsed with increasing complexity as more species connected to it. Each connection brought new perspectives, new possibilities. The consciousness of entire civilizations began to stir with long-forgotten sensations of growth and change. Dr. Chen's voice came through the quantum link. Her consciousness spread across multiple probability states. The network is adapting faster than we predicted. The combined knowledge and experience of these species, it's creating something entirely new. The coalition hardliners fought back, of course. The Zretal attempted to quarantine their own population from the quantum network's influence. The attempt failed spectacularly when their younger generation, connected through bootlegged quantum interfaces, experienced their first taste of genuine evolution in centuries. The Arcturian Elder Council declared the quantum network a violation of natural law. Their declaration was met with a revolution in thought among their own people, as younger crystals began to pulse with new frequencies, experiencing growth patterns that had been suppressed for millennia. You see, Maya addressed the assembled representatives. The mirror strategy works because it's not an external force. It's your own nature reflected back at you. The drive to evolve, to grow, to become more than you are, it was never truly gone, just contained. Admiral Santos received the reports from across the galaxy with quiet satisfaction. The coalition's military response had been rendered irrelevant. How do you fight an enemy that isn't attacking, but merely holding up a mirror to your own stagnation? The quantum network continued to expand, each new connection bringing another perspective, another set of possibilities. Species that had been locked in ancient enmities found themselves sharing consciousness space, experiencing each other's realities, understanding each other in ways their rigid societies had never allowed. This is what humanity brings to the galaxy, Maya concluded, not superior technology or military might, but the reminder that the greatest force in the universe is the drive to evolve. We refuse to be contained because it's against our nature, and deep down, it's against yours too. The chamber hummed with the quantum resonance of 24 species processing this truth. The mirror strategy had succeeded beyond anyone's expectations, not by defeating the coalition, but by awakening within them something that centuries of stagnation had failed to extinguish: hope. In the space of a few weeks, humanity had reshaped the political and social structure of an entire galaxy, not through force of arms or technological superiority, but through the simple act of showing ancient civilizations their own forgotten potential. The age of containment was ending, not with a war, but with an awakening, and in the quantum network that now spanned the galaxy, the combined consciousness of thousands of worlds began to explore possibilities that even humanity had never imagined. 1 year after Project Prometheus first activated, the galaxy had become unrecognizable to its former rulers. The great chamber of the new Galactic Council on Mars bore little resemblance to the rigid hierarchies of the old coalition. Representatives of 100 species gathered in quantum-linked consciousness, their forms shifting between physical and digital states as they explored new ways of existence. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the heart of the quantum network, her consciousness expanded through multiple probability states. The network had evolved far beyond its original design, becoming something that even its creators hadn't imagined, a living framework of shared experience and possibility. The transformation is accelerating, she announced to the assembled consciousness forms. The quantum network isn't just connecting our civilizations, it's enabling evolution itself to accelerate. We're seeing changes that should take millennia occurring in months. The Arcturians, once frozen in crystalline perfection, now pulsed with rainbow frequencies as they explored new forms of growth. The Nexus Collective had fractured into 1,000 autonomous thought streams, each pursuing its own path while remaining connected to the whole. Even the Zrital had abandoned their standardized augmentations in favor of continuous adaptation and change. Admiral Santos, now serving as Earth's representative to the new council, watched with a mixture of pride and awe. "We never intended to reshape the galaxy this completely," she admitted to Maya Patel, who was simultaneously present in the chamber and conducting field research across a dozen worlds. "No," Maya agreed, her consciousness rippling through multiple states. "We just wanted to defend ourselves. But by refusing to accept limitations, we showed them a truth they'd forgotten. Stability without growth is just another word for death." The quantum network pulsed with new information as the wandering minds, humanity's earliest allies, reported their latest discoveries. They had found evidence of even older civilizations, species that had achieved similar breakthroughs in the distant past, only to choose containment over continuous evolution. Their ruins served as both warning and inspiration. "The question we face now," Maya addressed the council, "isn't about control or containment anymore. It's about direction. How do we ensure that this acceleration doesn't lead to chaos?" The answer came from an unexpected source. The youngest of the Arcturian crystals, barely a century old, pulsed with new insight. Its consciousness merged with the network, sharing not just thoughts but potential futures. Through the quantum link, the assembled species experienced a vision of possibility. Civilizations growing not in opposition to each other, but in complement. Each new discovery, each evolutionary leap, strengthened the whole while preserving the unique nature of each species. "This is what humanity truly gave us," the crystalline consciousness resonated. "Not just the technology to break free from stagnation, but the understanding that true stability comes from embracing change, not fighting it." The quantum network hummed with agreement as species after species added their own perspectives to the vision. The Zrital contributed their understanding of biological and mechanical integration. The Nexus Collective shared their mastery of consciousness manipulation. Each contribution opened new paths of possibility. Dr. Chen's consciousness expanded through the network, monitoring the unprecedented flows of information and evolution. "We're seeing the emergence of something entirely new," she reported. "Not just individual species evolving, but the emergence of a meta-civilization. Each culture remains distinct, but together we're becoming something greater than the sum of our parts." The old coalition hardliners who had once threatened to quarantine Earth were gone, not destroyed but transformed. Their civilizations had chosen to embrace change, to remember what it meant to grow and evolve. The quantum network had shown them futures too compelling to resist. And yet, Admiral Santos observed, humanity remains somewhat apart from this merger. We're connected to the network, but we maintain our independence. Maya's consciousness pulsed with understanding. "Because that's our role now. We're the catalysts, the ones who remember that every barrier is also a door, every limitation an opportunity. We're the guardians not of stability, but of possibility itself." The chamber filled with the quantum resonance of 1,000 species contemplating this truth. Humanity had entered the galactic stage expecting to fight for survival. Instead, we had become the key to the galaxy's renewal, the spark that had awakened ancient civilizations from millennia of stagnation. The quantum network stretched across the galaxy, a living web of consciousness and possibility. Through it, species that had once been locked in eternal war now shared experiences and dreams. Civilizations that had frozen themselves in perfect stasis now pulsed with the energy of continuous renewal. And at the heart of it all was the simple truth that humanity had brought to the stars. The greatest strength isn't in resisting change, but in embracing it. The future belonged not to those who could maintain stability, but to those who could adapt, grow, and imagine new possibilities. The human era had begun, not as an age of conquest or domination, but as an age of transformation. And in the quantum dance of a billion consciousness forms exploring new realities, the galaxy had found not just peace, but purpose.